As always, there's a few things I want to say before we get started on today's video. Number one being you can find the previous videos in the description down below. Number two, you might be watching this on a Monday night. If not, the latest you're going to see this video up is on a Tuesday. And why is that? Is because I am currently watching this now on a Monday. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this can possibly be a reoccurring thing, because last night was Sunday Night Football. Football season is officially back, baby. And depending on what teams are playing that night dictates whether or not I'm going to watch that game. So last night, for example, was the game I watched till the end. So therefore, the consequence of that is that I am watching House of the Dragon on a Monday. So that is a future possibility. So anytime this happens, at the latest, you will see an episode on a Tuesday. Number three is throughout the week, I kind of found myself thinking, oh my god, I'm actually kind of excited and I'm hyped for the next episode. And I don't mean by saying that I haven't been excited or enjoying the show. I have been enjoying the show. You've seen that from my reactions, but having the anticipation and excitement for a series is something that is difficult for me to acquire. And again, it has to do with my reluctance and just being very hesitant with this series based on its predecessor with Game of Thrones. So I'm beginning to feel more and more comfortable as the episodes go by to really have sort of a confidence in the series as a whole. Not that I didn't already, but it's baby steps. Okay, I gotta take this slow. I have to, I'm sorry, but I'm getting there. So I am getting more and more excited for the series and the future of it. So yeah, pretty excited for this episode. And lastly, the past 2 weeks, I've been saying the X-Men reaction is going to come out this week, then next week, then yada, 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 yada. And here we are with another third week where it's just no reaction. And unfortunately, I have to say you guys are going to have to wait till Sunday to see that reaction. So I came to the decision that I need to be more consistent, but I also need to work with my schedule and unforeseen sort of things like Sunday Night Football. I know it's just kind of like a laziness thing because I'm not really doing anything important besides watching football. So I'm trying to make a set schedule and stick with that so I have consistency and I can also have the free time to do the things that I need to do, whether or not that's like an obligation or just something that I want to do. I'm not going to abandon either or. So hope you guys are okay with that. Any objections?
No? Good.
So this is the look of what I am talking about on Mondays or potentially Tuesdays based on, again, the football thing, but expect Monday. We'll have House of the Dragon until that concludes, and that will be followed by Wednesday and Friday having 2 Daredevil reactions each week until I conclude those with season 2, because I know we roll over to the Punisher and the Defender, so that's what I'm going to focus on after season 2. Then once those wrap up, we'll get back to season 3 of Daredevil because I want to do it in continuity of things. And then lastly, of course, as I said, the X-Men reaction / movie reactions will always drop on a Sunday. I'm going to focus on the X-Men movies until I conclude with Logan. Then perhaps I'm going to do some side stuff that I wanted to watch for a while. And then I'll jump to the Harry Potter series. But for now, it's going to be X-Men. So expect an X-Men movie reaction every single Sunday, starting with this Sunday. Does that sound good? To be honest, it doesn't really matter what you think because I'm going to do it anyway. That is what I'm going to do. No offense to you, but this is something that I think is the best for myself and also for you if you like watching my reactions, because this way you get 4 a week, not sometimes 1 or 2. You get 4 consistent reactions spaced throughout the week. So, okay, that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. Now, let's start this episode. The final thing that I have to say is, in preparation for this, you always hear little sort of reactions beforehand, even before the episode airs, what the critics say. And what they've been saying about this episode is there's a lot of sexy time, and it's gonna be like, you have to be cautious with who you watch this with, like who's in the room. No kids in the room, so I'm like, okay, it's gonna be one of those things. But then I heard something where it's gonna be controversial. I'm like, what does that mean? And then I'm just like, all these theories bubbling inside my head. I'm like, what is gonna happen? What's going on? So I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see with that. As I've always said, when this shit pops up, like, I don't want to see it. Like, I don't care, but it's not something that I like look forward to. I've always said I don't know why they put these in, other than to like get that section of the audience that can't keep it in their pants. They just need to see that shit. So I don't know. We're gonna have a very profane visually episode. So okay, whatever, man. Let's do this. And if I had to guess, I'm gonna say there's gonna be another time jump just based on how these past episodes have been going. Do I sound a little sick right now? I can't tell. I think I do actually sound a little sick. I was out all day in the rain yesterday, and then I Yeah, I do sound sick. It's ironic. I think this is karma because last night, as I said, it was Sunday Night Football, and I kept making fun of the way Chris Collinsworth sounded. He was so sick or he lost his voice or something, and there are a shit ton of memes dropping about that, but I was like, Jesus, this poor guy can't even talk. Do you listen to him? He sounded awful, but karma's a bitch, so now I have the bad voice, so damn, how the tables have turned. This next episode is called King of the Narrow Sea. My expectation is going to be Daemon-oriented heavily. I mean, it could mean Corlys Velaryon, but I expect Daemon, because Daemon is starting to really grow on me as a character. While this intro is going, I will say I did see one, not spoiler, but it was a promotional image, and that was a still from this episode, and it showed that Daemon cut his hair short, so if you want to call that a spoiler, I guess. I mean, it was promotion, but that's the only one I saw. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, I'm just going to try to refrain from seeing anything and just kind of go into the episode completely blind. So, I know Daemon cut his hair short. That's the only thing I will say. Or the only thing I know, excuse me.
And though my seat may be lesser in size, it is...
All suitors. Oh, this job sucks. I mean, at least she gets to choose, but... Look at the options.
And tell me, Lord Dondarrion, did you think my great-grandmother is beautiful as they say?
It was half a century ago, Princess.
Yes, it was.
Burnt.
Next.
I mean, she's a dragon after all. Burn it, bitches!
Of conquest.
Aye, the Blackwoods truly turned the tide on that one.
Princess has a dragon, you dumb cunt.
Damn.
Craven.
Into this ridiculous pageant.
Oh, someone died. Oh, shit. As I said earlier, karma's a bitch. Legit. Damn. You let that little boy disarm you. Is that Caraxes? I hear the whistle. Sounds like Daemon's dragon. Yeah, it is. He needed to look all cool. They literally set him up to look like this fancy image. Sometimes leadership, all they are is figureheads, or the face. Don't really do much besides that. As long as they look the part. Yeah, look at his new getup. He's got a crown on. He kind of looks like an Ironborn.
You wear a crown. Do you also call yourself king?
Once we smash the Triarchy, they name me King of the Narrow Sea. But I know that there is only one true king, Your Grace.
He doesn't buy it.
Dead Triarchy, Corsairs, stake to the sand to warn those who might follow.
Daemon wanted to do it himself, despite his brother. Okay. Very interesting family reunion.
Perhaps Prince Daemon would care for a tour of the gallery.
Would you like to see the tapestry?
That was funny. Uh-oh. Are my theories gonna come true with the two of them? Oh, I guess she had her second child.
Those men and boys don't fawn over me. They only want my name in my Valyrian blood for their offspring.
I find I have few friends lately. I like to believe I'm still the Lady Alicent, but all anyone sees when they look at me now is the Queen.
I dino de malo sud fedile meris. Tinaxon toilet gausa morgan costas. Jos jailan nike nuho Pridasmo Brasilio delle uno go daradex.
Jesus.
For the past few days, it seems we have traded a crab feeder for a sea snake.
This is clearly a rebuke for passing over Lady Lena for Queen Alicent.
If House Velaryon entered into an alliance with the Free Cities, we would have to seek our own marriage pact.
Literally, all the problems are stemming from marriage. It's crazy how a single relationship, can dictate everything.
Good night, Sir Kristen.
Sleep well, Princess.
Man, when do these guys sleep? They're always watching them even while they sleep, so when do they do it? They must do it in shifts. Life of a Kingsguardman kind of sucks unless you're really into honor and servitude. Because I'm pretty sure you can't marry, have a family. Then you always got to be guarding them. I mean, as Robert Baratheon said, you mind the door while I eat, drink, and fuck or whatever. Is that a treasure map? What the hell? There's a secret passage? I know the Targaryens built, like, tunnels under the city. This must be one of them. Who sent her that letter, though? Okay. It's a mystery. Stop asking so many questions. She even put on a miner's hat. Ah, Daemon.
Where are we going?
Yeah, they got to disguise their hair. This way they can enjoy everything the city has to offer. Damon's like the cool but sus uncle. He just keeps getting cut and cut and cut again by that damn throne. All these people watch him take a bath. In that little tub.
And whose bum it might bear. Our good king.
Ooh, I love a play.
Daughter, a girl, his heir. Who will it be? The brother, the daughter, or the little princeling of 3? And a cock.
Oh, okay. I thought they were really gonna show it.
Their wants are of no consequence.
She is so much like a Arya, and there's a quite literal parallel with them both watching a play.
Who knows when our next taste freedom?
Yeah, something definitely weird going on between them.
Pardon me, Your Grace. The king has requested your presence.
Ah, that's why the king suggested her presence. Okay. Rhaenyra seems content with this.
What is this place?
It's where people come to take what they want.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, what a weird fucking episode. What the fuck is this shit, dude? Yeah, I've always kind of known that Rhaenyra looks a little too excited when her uncle shows up. And the same goes for him with her. He literally, that's why he came back to King's Landing. Just to do this. So is she sleeping in a different room than the king? Because she was asleep when the king called to her. He's like, what the fuck?
My helmet.
She is in a very good mood tonight. Oh god, now she wants some Kristen Cole. Yep. Damn, Damon's influence already rubbed on her. I mean, he said we can go with whoever we want. Starting to sense a theme with this episode. Very clear message it's trying to convey. He's very much on the fence about doing this. Well, he chose the side. Poor guy has no idea he's getting sloppy seconds. Well, father and daughter and uncle had a happy night. Oh, I felt like the king would have a spy. Sire, about your brother and your daughter. Where to start?
The sea snake. I'm afraid it concerns the princess, my king. The princess was spied last evening. Beyond the walls of the keep. She was carrying on with her uncle. They were engaged in behaviors unbecoming of a maiden.
What behaviors?
What must I say, your Grace?
You went to my bedchamber, accusing my daughter of something.
Coupling.
Oh, she's listening.
Who is responsible for this gossip? Have this rumor-monger brought before me at once, and I will take their eyes. Are you so sick with ambition that you would have my daughter stalked, spied upon? Your designs are obvious. Do you wish to have your blood on the Iron Throne so badly that you are willing to destroy mine own?
Viserys called them out for once. That was a very troubling thought to deal with, though.
Were you with your uncle?
Oh,
Is Alicent a little
I haven't
jealous?
seen him in years. Damon never touched me. I swear this to you, upon the memory of my mother.
So did last night really not happen? She swore on the memory of her mother. That's kind of... I don't want to expect Rhaenyra to lie like that. Oh, God. You're in trouble.
Won't you even deny it?
I need to understand the charge before I can attempt to discredit it.
She is just a girl. Your niece.
Here is a woman grown. Better her first experience would be with me than some whore.
I have spent a lifetime defending you. But your heart is even blacker than I thought.
Put up my crown, you said I could have anything. I want Rhaenyra. I'll take her as she is and wed her in the tradition of our house. Give me Rhaenyra to take to wife, and we will return the House of the Dragon to its proper glory.
It's not my daughter you lust for, is it? It's my throne.
I mean, I said every single episode before it happened, I had a feeling that Daemon would marry Rhaenyra, and that looks like a real possibility now. Jesus.
How does confessing to such things serve him?
By reducing you. She swore to me that she remains a maiden. And I believe her.
I mean, she swore in the memory of her mother. That's why I was like, so was last night fabricated? I know what really happened, but I'm just so surprised that she would have said that. It's a little out of character for her. I don't know, but Damon's got her on some sort of like power trip. Oh, why is he heating the cat's paw?
That dagger once belonged to Aegon the Conqueror.
I'm not gonna say it. I told you I wouldn't mention it.
Come the prince that was promised.
Arya Stark. It was a joke. But not really, because she did still use the dagger to end winter.
My titles and name Aegon in my stead.
I would. But it is mine to hold the realm together, not sow it with further division.
And what will you do about the vulture who perches upon your throne?
What vulture?
Your hand.
Every lord and lady that calls for an audience with me. Every man on my small council and all councils past has been self-interested.
I will do my duty as heir and with Sir Laenor. But you must first do yours as king.
My father was a hale and healthy warrior and dragon rider, at the peak of his abilities. 5 days later, my father lay dead. Tourneys last longer. Gods have a dark wit.
It was a grim day. I recall it all too well.
Of course you do.
It was a good day for you. Jaehaerys named you hand in Balon's stead.
That's hardly how I viewed it, Your Grace. It was a duty.
You went from being another man in Jaehaerys' court to the second most powerful man in the realm. How long did it take you to choose yourself over your king?
Your Grace.
But Alicent, she took me through the worst of my grief. I only now realize how well calculated it was.
That is an absurdity. Loyal and must tell his king a discomforting truth from time to time, Your Grace. He's failed as a servant.
You were a faithful servant, Otto.
Viserys W. This episode is insanely long.
From the king. It will rid you of any unwanted consequences.
Oh. And it just ends like that. As soon as I said, damn, this is a long episode, and it just ends like that. Okay. Shit. Very weird episode. That's all I'm going to say so far. It's a very unusual episode. As I said, I heard it was going to be sexy time, and it was, but it was like more uncomfortable. And I kind of felt like that was coming. I said since the first episode that there was something not weird, but I just felt like wouldn't it make sense and also be a possibility that Daemon and Rhaenyra would sort of couple together. But then you start to notice the little bits of overjoy when they see each other, and you read in between those lines, and you're like, yeah, there's definitely something weird going on. And Daemon even brought up that it's Targaryen tradition to be purebred within the bloodline, so it's all within tradition and custom, and yeah, it's bizarre. But there was something I looked up just to get a further explanation, because I was kind of like cringing and looking away, but Daemon and Rhaenyra never just really got to it. They just kind of like flirted with the idea of it. So her and Kristen Cole definitely. So it would be his kid if she were to be pregnant, because her and Daemon never. He stopped himself. But because I was just like, oh my God, this is so uncomfortable, so weird. I didn't know to what degree they did it. So if some of you in the comments are going to point on my reaction that no, it still kind of was like seconds because she was rebounding with Kristen Cole, but it won't be Daemon's child if she does have a child. It won't be Daemon's. I get that. I looked it up because I was like, is this really going to happen? And I just needed a bit more explanation on what really went down. So, because as I said, she swore on the memory of her mother that she didn't do it, which I was like, that is so out of character for her. I can't believe she said that. And was it just like, how much did it actually happen? So I got my answer. And some things to consider with this episode is the impact. Like, there's so much tension and not conflict. There's no physical fights. It's just scheming and conniving little people, all with their own ideas. And as Viserys said, there's no one in the court, no one on the small council table that is not out to serve themselves. So he's aware of that, but he's never really confronted Otto about it. He stepped up to Otto earlier in the episode. I was like, oh, damn. At the end, he disowned him, took away his hand of the king. I was like, damn. Okay, Viserys, finally, a kingly move that you have just been lacking, which is why you keep getting cut by the damn throne, because you're not worthy of it. But I really like that. I mean, in the first episode, Daemon called Otto out for who he is. He called him a see you next Tuesday, but he was saying that Viserys is weak and that these people around him are like sharks and he's bleeding in the water. So I love that Daemon has the intuition to see people for who they are and just be an interesting character. Again, it's hard to know where he lies because Matt Smith, the actor who plays Daemon, I believe he said a quote, something like, you never know which Daemon he's gonna wake up to be if he sleeps on one side of the bed. You could get either or, kind of like a split personality, but it's the decisions where those lie and the ones that he's gonna ultimately make. You never know with him. So I like that. I like that his character is kind of up in the air. You enjoy him, you like him, but you can't really predict what he's gonna do. And it's the unpredictable people which are very dangerous and somehow always make it out on top. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Again, this episode really speaks for itself. If you want to talk about something, feel free to do so down in the comments. I was refraining from the whole thing with the dagger, with the cat's paw, because again, I love how it's, if Game of Thrones never went successfully towards the end and everything happened so beautifully, it is so cool how they're setting that up for the longevity of the cat's paw, and when you burn it, you have the secret message of the prince who was promised. But that is all negated by Arya Stark using that to just end the Night King in an instant. I understand that George R.R. Martin wants Bran to be king, and if he's able to do that storyline well, then cool. I still don't like Bran being king, but I like the whole idea of the dagger was meant to kill him, and sort of it revolves around him. But again, it's just, they created the Night King as a singular character and for the sake of Game of Thrones rather than having a leader as in the books. I've never read the books, but I know that they're different in the books. There's no soul, the Night King, the leader, creator, or first White Walker. I know that's a different thing, but again, I just feel like certain characters were robbed or their story arcs didn't quite meet how I expected them to. So again, I know that's a bit of personalizing it in my opinion, and therefore it's not really valid because it's just my own interest, but you can see the outline of where these story characters were going based upon George R.R. Martin's work. And some of them, sure, he said did meet or match his prediction for the ending, but he said he was a gardener rather than an architect, so things are evolving differently, and of course things played out very differently in the show's end. So again, the whole storyline surrounding the White Walkers, I hated the way that concluded. So again, I'm just trying to think of this show as canon to the actual Game of Thrones. In like an alternate reality universe, we saw seasons 1 through 12 or 13 where they were just perfection, like the writing quality of seasons 1 through 4, and just, oh god. So that's just how I'm using my headcanon here. But anyway, a lot of conflict brewing. Again, as I mentioned, Corlys Velaryon trying to make a sort of an alliance with the Free Cities. So kind of a bit of a hypocrite there because he was fighting the Free Cities with their sort of invasion through the Crab Feeder and them funding him. But now he's trying to make an alliance with them just to spite and get back at the king for denying his original marriage proposal to his daughter. And then the king sought to rectify that by having Rhaenyra marry his son, but now Rhaenyra is sort of exploring other things, and even though she agreed to marry his son, is that going to turn out well? And even the king sort of disowning Otto, putting him in his place, demoting him, but then also with Alicent being caught in the middle where I don't know if she has like feelings for Rhaenyra or she's just jealous because Rhaenyra has so much freedom and doesn't care about consequence, and now she wants her kids to be sort of put on the pedestal, but the king is still going for Rhaenyra as the heir because he thinks the kids are more so Otto's blood rather than his own. So a lot of interesting things going on, and I feel like it's just gonna like boop. And then Daemon, of course, he's trying to scheme, let me marry Rhaenyra and then he can get the throne. Like, it's just like so much going on now. I'm like, yeah, this is starting to really pick up. So exciting things are ahead. I can't wait. And again, I hope you guys can either, and I hope you guys enjoyed and also work with me on my new schedule. I think this episode, based on the time I'm finished recording this, it is currently almost 6 o'clock, and a lot of editors are paid editors by like real big reactors, so they're good. They have fast internet speeds and they know how to do these. But for me, it is so not hard, but it takes so long to, when I'm done editing, it usually takes like 3 to 4 hours for me to finish editing if I stay in this chair and just focus on it. Isn't that insane? not really 4 hours. I'd say like 2, depending on how long it is, 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, because then I have to upload it and it has to like TikTok, download and blah, 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 blah. But then just doing the editing, the actual editing part takes at least 2 hours because I'm slow. And I try to include as much clips as possible because other people just put the parts that they talk at. But I like to put sort of story segments that are essential, if you understand that. So again, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Again, one more time. Until then, I'll catch you folks in my next video. Jesus, what a mouthful.
That dagger once belonged to Aegon the Conqueror.
I'm not going to say it. I told you I wouldn't mention it.
We hope to kind of avoid the expected, and Jon Snow has always been the hero, the one who's been the savior. But it just didn't seem right to us for this moment.
You serve Jon Snow now.
He's the prince that was promised.